Video games can be frustrating at times. Instead, I'm gonna be trying to make the most satisfying game that I can, all from scratch. The stakes are high though, since the professional game developer will rate the game based on how satisfying it is in the end, so if I fail, I really fail. This went very unexpected.
I'm gonna give it a...
I started by creating a new project and immediately importing a color palette. It's from a Sony VHS cassette tape thing and it looks really nice, which should hopefully contribute to the game's feel. A good way to make a game satisfying is to change up the atmosphere. Since we don't have a lot of time, and I'll get to why in a second, I just made the sky white, added some floating particles around the player, and a little bit of fog, which should hopefully do for now. Then I started making a player movement script. This is the player, and made it very floaty. I made it as responsive as possible in order for the player to have control, so if they mess up, it's their fault. It still bounces them up if they happen to fall off the platform though, which will reduce stress. And yeah, the game is looking pretty good so far. My whole plan for the game is parkour. You would have to jump over endless platforms while collecting some coins. It's a very simple idea, but I think you'll be very surprised with how it ends up. I have thought of a few ways to make the game feel satisfying and calming. We can start by making the game really convenient for the player by making all the platforms perfectly placed for the player's jump in order for the game to be as stress-free as possible. I will also add some ear candy whenever the player collects a coin, like a satisfying sound effect to make the player feel rewarded. Another way to make the game more addictive is to add a score counter that is saved between sessions. This way you can feel progression and rack up score over time, which gives the game some sort of goal. However, I need to stop talking and theorizing because we only have a player movement script and I need to finish this before I go on vacation, which is in about 2 days. So I made the coin. Here it is, very simple cube, and when you collect it, a particle system spawns and it's very tactile, so it's already pretty satisfying. Also kinda looks like the character from my game that I released on Steam, which you can play for free. Next up, I need to make the platform generation to make the game infinite. I did some math to calculate the best position for the platform to spawn in, and it also creates a coin, which is also placed at the best position for the player so that he can collect it easily. This took me about a day to implement, because I had to do a lot of testing and fine-tuning, and now apparently I only have 1 day to finish the game, so yeah, it's time to pull an all-nighter. I made a simple main menu with these satisfying buttons, which took me a couple of hours, and then I went to sleep. I woke up the final day and got to work. I need to make a simple music track, sound effects, a statistic system to save all the player's stats, and a lot more. But before I do that, I'm just gonna send the game to a friend and see if they like it, which I'm sure they will, of course. Yeah, it turns out the game didn't actually feel that good to play, and it turns out I have even more things to do. Firstly, why are mechanical keyboards so damn satisfying? It's for 2 reasons. The first one is feel, which we sadly cannot replicate in this game. The second one though is sound. That we can do. I usually generate sound effects through a program called sfxr, but that ain't gonna cut it. So instead, I'm just gonna make a bunch of random sounds with my microphone, layer them, and possibly make a decent result. I started by making some footstep sound effects, which was literally me clapping my hands. Then I made a coin pickup sound effect, which was just a bunch of random noises that I made layered together. I also tried adding some wind sounds, but I couldn't get them to work how I wanted. And finally, a music track. A horrendous one. This is 4 notes played on repeat. This is not music. So remember when I said that I'll make everything from scratch? Yeah, forget that. I asked Anne, a really talented music artist, to make me an ambient music track, which is currently playing in the background, and oh boy did she deliver. This is way better than whatever I made before. Check her out on Spotify. The music she made for the game is also there. We don't have a lot of time though. I gotta leave soon. I finished up a bunch of other menus, which took me way too long for some reason, but now we have a settings, stats, and credits menu. However, I still haven't completed the statistics system, which means that the stats menu is completely empty. So I quickly made it. It counts your playtime, the platforms that you've passed, your coins, and the times you've fallen, but like, I seriously don't have more time. So I'll do some final touches like changing up the platform generation and adding a way to go back to the menu, and I built the game. It took what felt like way too long, but I managed to ship it off to Aya, so now we gotta wait a little bit. Okay, it's a few days later, I'm back, and Aya just sent me the video. I'm gonna let you see for yourself. This did not go as expected.
Hey, this is Aya playing the most satisfying game. We're gonna rate how satisfying it is. This gives me a lot of like 80s vibes. These colors, I like the little animations. It'd be satisfying. That's a really satisfying noise as you go over. Okay, so we're in here. Jump carelessly. Let your mind relax. The sky is full of cubes. I do like the sounds. Music is very chill. I like the atmosphere. Just gonna close my eyes actually. This is really interesting. So it looks like it's probably just this forever. Okay, I have some opinions. Okay, so we have a satisfaction and a chill score. I do think there's a missed opportunity on the menu. with some sounds. The music is a total vibe. The sounds of picking up the coins are perfect. So I think the atmosphere is really good. Satisfaction, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Okay, so now for chill. Here's my opinion on chill. Okay, for chill, I didn't feel that chill. I mean, like, the music is a vibe, collecting the coins is a vibe, but jumping in and of itself is stressful. If I was like jumping, this is like a serious review. If it was a flat platform and maybe like stuff fell out of the sky and I had to like bring stuff back to a basket or something, like coins or whatever, there's an objective, but it's not like the whole like endless running forward and pressing jump makes it feel like a platformer and not so chill. So I think if you made it just like took out the difficulty altogether and you can just go and collect coins, bring them back to a place, and you just are like going back and forth between something, I think that could be pretty chill. From like a design perspective, the game looks beautiful. I love the menu design, and the vibe is really good, but the chillness, I'm gonna give it a 2.5. We're gonna give this a vibe score. 3.5 plus 2.5 is, oh, mathing, 6. There you go.
So, did I succeed? I don't know. The truth is that people have different preferences on what makes a game satisfying, so it's really hard to do it. With that being said, I'm pretty happy with a 6 out of 10, and I would love for you to try out the game, so it's out now on itch.io. Try it and tell me what you think in my Discord. Join my Discord. You'll probably get the chance to participate in future videos. Anyways, check out Aya, check out Ant's music, and maybe subscribe, I don't know.